Welcome back again to this lesson 5. So this is where we left off from lesson 4. So what I want us to do in this lesson is to start building the rocks and probably this outside concrete floor here. So one thing I need to mention is that by the way, I have gone ahead and added the doors and windows here, so you can do so because we created them in part 4. So I just went ahead and duplicated and fill in all those these ones. Also, I need to tell you, the back here I didn't do it because we are not gonna see them, so there's no need for us to kind of populate our scene with some assets that we don't need, and it's gonna keep our scene very heavy. So we don't want to do that, so I decided not to put those. And that also brings me to this point of setting your camera earlier on. So you need to set your camera so that you know what you can see and what you cannot see. So you just need to build the assets that that will be seen by the camera, and definitely they don't want to build anything that the camera is not gonna see. So I've gone ahead and set my camera. So this is the view that I used, and I also bookmarked it here. Depends on the reference that you're following, you can do the same. So also I need to mention that in my camera I set my focal length a little bit wide, so I made it 38, which is what I normally use when I'm doing architectural visualization like this. So I normally set it between 35 to 44, so we have a wider lens. But if I'm building some like products, so I normally use something like 50 to 51 kind of. You can see when I do that, it and zoom it back, it doesn't really give me a wide lens that I like to. So that's why I normally use something like 35 to 38. So I just want to mention that. And also set your camera. And now what we can do is to start the main thing we're gonna do in this lesson is probably build these rocks. I want to show you how to make organic looking rocks like this, so you can use in your assets. Also let's first of all try to block in this outside here. Like we have this part here and this small water fountain or pond or whatever it is, and also around here. So let's do that. This is the plan that I created that I'm set to use for that. I think I want to bring it down a little bit because I don't want it to cover this I think this is like a foundation or something like that here. So what I want to do is I want to bring it down slightly like that because I want that to show. So now we need to start blocking out this, cutting out this all these spaces here. So we have to I want to start from this, do this from the top view. So I want to get that shaded, and you can see probably this part here. We can begin to add maybe more. Okay, so I want to cut out this one right here, and probably, let me see, I think we need to extrude this one out a little bit more so we can get this shape here. So let's do that one. I think what I want to do is I want to extrude these faces here, but what I can do is to deselect these ones here, so I know that I'm only selecting the side faces here. So I'll press Ctrl E and then click on that, Then I will like to just bring it out something like this. And bring it a little bit more, and I can add another something like that. I think this is probably too much, so let's push it back a little bit. I think this could be that the pond that we have here. Okay, so let me delete it, and this will be the middle that we have there. So what we can do now is this is not gonna be perfect right now because it's not really the main thing that we're gonna be doing. So let's start to close this the spaces that we have here. I'm gonna use Append Polygon tool. Just click, press G to close that, and here as well. So maybe this one right here. Okay, now we're beginning to see that annoying black face there. So what we can do is we go to, I think it's mesh display, and we click on this, and normally it should take it out, but sometimes it doesn't work. But we are going to delete the face at the bottom here, so that doesn't really matter so much for now. So what we can start to do right now is let's start building the rock for our scene. Okay, so now let's go to create, go to primitive, polygon primitive, and the one we're going to be using for this rock is called Platonic Solid. So let's click on that. I'm going to bring it here and also increase it. Maybe bring it out a little bit just so we have it right there. So the next thing we're gonna do is let's go to the attribute editor and come in here to right here, and what I'm gonna do is I need to change the setting here to these tetrahedrons, so, and also increase my subdivision to like 1, and I think I also need to increase this a little bit more. I know it's too big now, but we'll reduce it after we finish. So I want to expand it like this. Maybe more like that. I think I like it the way it is now. So what we can do now is to add some more divisions to it. You go to this modeling toolkits and we add divisions here, because I need to start shaping it a little bit more, maybe one more. Okay, so what I can do now is to, let's go to vertex mode, and this is too pointy, so I'm gonna reduce that a little bit like so, and maybe this one is, then I can grab some of this vertex like this and maybe a little bit of these ones right here and just push it a little bit, and then I can press B on my keyboard to activate soft selection. Okay, right here the shortcut is B, and then I can try to move it maybe like that, and then let me do the same on this side as well. So maybe grab one more here, some few more right here, and also just move it, maybe rotate a bit, like so. Maybe I need to increase it just like that. You can reshape yours the way you want. So if you're happy with the shape you're having, so what we can do now is let's delete history, freeze transformation, and let's go to mesh and retopologize this. Okay, so I normally, let's reset this. So I normally use between 4,000 for this target face count. I normally use some between 4,000 to 6,000. So in this case, let's use something like 5,500. And then I'm going to increase this all the way to 1, and then I will retopologize here. Just give it a moment to finish. So now this is what we have. So this now is a time to start sculpting, do some sculpting. Don't worry, it's gonna be very easy. So for those of you who haven't done sculpting before, this is very easy. I'm also not good in sculpting, so we go to Maya sculpting tool here and we click on this first one right here. You can see our brush is too small. We can press B and click to increase and decrease that, and you can press M, and when you drag up and down, you can see this is the strength. For example, if we have it here and try to, you can see what we have. I'm just going to undo that. So reduce my brush a little bit like so, and press M to reduce that strength. So right now what we need to do is to start sculpting in some irregular shapes on this rock. So it's gonna look a little bit more organic. I'm gonna increase the brush a little bit more, and like so. So what you can do is, if you want to chisel in, just to like push it in, you can press Control, and you can press to push it in. Let me increase this brush a little bit. So this time there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's up to you, the way you want it. Okay, so you just have to it's all about push and pull. Okay, so I think these edges here, they are too defined. So what you can do, you press Shift on your keyboard and you can begin to relax it. So let's relax some of the sculpting that we did. So just relax them a little bit, something like that. I don't want to remove all of them completely. I still need it, because if you look at our reference, rocks normally have all those sharp edges, but what we want to do is to relax them a little bit, because the things we are going to do next is also going to bring them back. We're going to convert this into triangles, and that will bring in those even make those sharp edges even more visible. So right now we just need to relax them a little bit. I think this one is too much. So what I can do now is, I think here I need to push this back in a little bit. Okay, I think what I also would like to do is to flatten this bottom a little bit, because this is gonna be how the rock sits. So you're gonna press Q on your keyboard to exit that sculpting, and you go to deform, and here we have lattice. So when you click on that, I will do this from the side view here. So what I want is to grab this this last part here and just push it up a little bit like that, just to give that a more flattened edge like that. Maybe it's too much. So I think I like the way it is now. So we'll just click on that, and let me go back to my custom here shelf. So delete history, and then we get rid of that lattice handles. So now I think I really want to sculpt it a little bit more. So let's go back to that sculpting tool and click on that, and just relax here a little bit more. Okay, so, and probably let me reduce my brush and press Ctrl to push these ones back a little bit. Just maybe make the brush a little bit bigger. Ctrl to push back a little bit. Yeah, something like that. You can match your reference, or just do it the way any way you want. So press Q again. So now we need to, okay, so delete history, freeze transformation, and center the pivot. So the next thing we need to do now is let's go back to mesh and retopologize again. This time I'm gonna leave this the way it is, but I'm gonna bring this face uniformity, I'm gonna bring it back to 0, and then we apply. You can see now what happened is Maya has taken into consideration those places that we pushed in. It holds it tightens it a little bit more and adds few more geometry there, so it holds it more tighter. Okay, so this is what the way it's looking, but we are not done yet. We're going to triangulate this, so we will have those sharp cuts that we see in real life rocks. So what we need to do now is we go to mesh and we triangulate. You see, now we have triangles here, and it's very smooth compared to the way rocks looks like. So what we can do is we go to mesh display and we harden edges. So now we're beginning to see those rocky effects, but again we need to reduce the triangles. I think this is too high res with what I want to achieve. So the triangles are quite too much. So what we need to do now is we need to go to mesh, and here we reduce. Let's go to the options and reset it, and then reduce. So we have these settings here. So if you increase it, you will have your triangles will be less. Okay, and let's see how it's looking. You see, I think this is looking quite good. I think we'll maybe increase it a little bit, maybe something like, I think this is okay. If you look at our reference here and look at this one, I think this is good enough, or maybe reduce them a little bit. Okay, so this is, I think I'm happy with this one. So what we can do, you can increase it more if you want to. You see the way it's looking. This is not bad actually. Maybe too much, add a little bit, maybe something like this, 88. Fine, I think I like this. Okay, So it's up to you. You can do whatever you want. The way you do is, just keep adjusting this. So when you think is okay, so you just delete history, center the pivot, and what we will do is we will use this rock. Let's put it in place. It's too big, it's massive, it's bigger than our building right now, so we'll put it in place, right, like so. This is the position here, so let's just put it up there. Maybe press D to reposition our pivot point at the bottom here, and here we can reduce and position it more properly. Maybe rotate it. Let me see from our, definitely too big. Rotate it a little bit and move it. Let me do this from the side view, from the top view, sorry. I think I want to rotate it a little bit more, like so, and bring it out here. So what we are gonna do is we will duplicate it and put them in other places, and I think we have a couple of them, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe probably you can do another one with a different shape, so you can have varieties and you can place it in different places. Also, what you can do is you reduce the triangles and reduce it more, and so it looks more different, so you can duplicate and put in more places. Okay, so I don't want to duplicate mine right now because I don't want to have my scene heavy. Maybe in the next lesson we'll start building some of this furniture, maybe some of them right here. Okay, so we will continue from in the next lesson. So in this lesson we've added our outside plan here, we've built our rock, I've showed you how to set cameras so you can do yours, and while off camera I'm gonna adjust this a little bit more and close some of these spaces here and get ready for the next lesson. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in the next lesson. Bye bye.